Hey, and welcome back to the channel. And right up front, I want to let you know that this isn't going to be the video on calories and nutrition that I had planned. I will be releasing that here in the next couple of days, but I had to come in with a video about forgiveness, self-forgiveness, and getting out of the habit of comparing your success with other people's success. Over the last few days and weeks, I participate in a lot of different groups on Reddit and Facebook and other forums on the internet where they're bariatric communities, people that are seeking the surgery or had the surgery and, looking for support. And it's really very actually supportive. It's a wonderfully supportive group that we have, but there's also a lot of people there suffering through different levels of frustration with their progress, and they compare themselves to others and how fast other people should be losing weight or what they think the averages should be. They're spending all this time stressing over calories and minutia and those kind of things instead of just focusing on the good choices that they need to make for themselves to be successful. This path post-surgery is not a cakewalk. If you've had the surgery, you know what I'm talking about. It's not a cakewalk. It's not just a magical, I don't just sit here, I'm just sitting here letting the fat melt off. I'm all good. That's all I'm doing. Let the fat melt off. And it's not that way. And besides just the physical aspect of this, there's a mental aspect that still exists for some people more than others, but a lot of us have demons that we still need to get rid of, right? We still have demons in there from our past that contributed to our gaining weight. If you happen to hear something that sounds like a gunshot, it's not a gunshot, and I'm not in a war zone. There it is again. Don't know how well you can hear it. They're grape guns. So these guns that are just gas explosions, kind of like a potato gun, meant to scare birds away from grapes. I'm kind of surrounded by vineyards here. So anyway, back on subject. I just didn't want to think I was like, didn't want you to think I was going to be getting shot anytime soon here. So I see a lot of these posts. I saw one that really kind of set me off, which it was a person saying that they had only lost 50 pounds in 4 months. Only 50 pounds in 4 months. And everybody was losing more than that. And everybody isn't losing more than that. It's so far from the truth. And again, focusing in on, they were talking about how they were failing again. And again, here we see demons from the past, from past failures in dieting. And instead of grabbing on to the success of losing 50 pounds, it was everyone else is doing better than me. And I'm going to fail again. And you can just see the wheels. If I could see their head turning, you can kind of see potentially this thing about, why am I even trying now to lose weight? I might as well start eating crap again because I'm going to fail. That's the road this person's going down. And I see it over and over and over again. And my mind has gone there. I'm not perfect. I'm not a perfect individual. Of course my mind has gone there when I've had a week where maybe I didn't lose a pound, But when I start thinking about why I feel that way, or why I've had those thoughts here and there, I started realizing that I was still blaming myself for getting in this position in the first place. I was blaming myself for gaining the weight, blaming myself for yo-yo dieting, for trying diets in the past and not succeeding, and regaining the weight and all of those things. I realized I had to forgive myself. I had to look myself in the eye and say, I forgive you for doing that stuff. And maybe that sounds corny to you. Don't really care if you think it sounds corny, but that's what I had to do. I had to forgive myself for years of food abuse, basically, and self-abuse, emotional addiction, all those kind of things. Now, I haven't been overweight all my life. The first 22 years of my life, I was in average and better average shape through high school, and I was in the Marine Corps for 4 years. I was in Operation Desert Shield and Desert Storm. I was in excellent shape. I was a Marine. There aren't a whole lot of out-of-shape Marines out there. At least there may be a few, but even the out-of-shape Marines are in pretty good shape. But I was in good shape, and it wasn't until after the Marine Corps, when I went to college, I started gaining weight. And freshman 15 was probably more like freshman 30 for me, and it just kept on getting added on and added on and added on, and then years of fast food and poor choices and just eating crap food, processed food, fried food, fast food to the nth degree. I can quote every menu of every fast food restaurant ever created, pretty much, so that was my story. That was my path to obesity. And other people have different issues on how they got there. That was mine. You may have something similar. You may have some commonalities, or you may have some different reasons why you gained the weight over time. But the point is, most of us, not all, but most of us have things that we aren't proud of that may have contributed to us gaining that weight, right? We made some choices along the way that exacerbated this disease that we now have. And obesity is a disease. And for a while we were just overweight. Then it transitioned into the disease of obesity, where our body really starts to battle against us when we try to lose weight, and make it very difficult by slowing down your metabolism, increasing your hunger, and those kind of things. And I just knew I couldn't keep ruminating over the past. And that's been an issue that I've had for a long time, is when I've made bad decisions in the past, I tend to hang on to those things. I hang on to them and I ruminate over them for years, and with regret, and wish that I could change them. And that's not good. Not a good path. Just compounds onto stress and feelings of negativity that lead a lot of us to eat. And those experiences of the past take me down a road where I start to wonder, am I going to repeat those things again? How am I going to deal with adversity this time? And, what am I going to do differently? And what it comes back to is forgiving myself and letting all of that go. Now, I'm not saying you can't forget where you came from. You have to acknowledge where you came from. So I can acknowledge that I did a significant amount of damage to my body in the past, and that it led to obesity. But where I'm at now is I forgive myself for the poor choices I made in the past. I'm going to celebrate the good choices that I'm making in the present, and I'm going to plan to make good choices in the future. This is going to be a lifelong change. It has to be a lifelong change. And it's okay if it happens slowly. In fact, it's probably better if it happens slowly. I need to take advantage of the benefits of the surgery and build these habits that are going to last a lifetime. And if you didn't have the surgery, you can still build new habits. And again, surgery doesn't make it easy. It's still difficult. But there is an advantage there that you get from the surgery, and you have to capitalize on it. And part of that means that you can't compare yourself to others, and you can't blame yourself for the past anymore. It's time to do a reboot. Get yourself going on the positive. The scale is going to be a part of this journey no matter what, but make it a small part. A small part of the journey should be the scale. And yes, we report on our weight, and there's all kinds of blogs on YouTube, and it's the 10-week update. I do them too. I update on weight, and that's going to be a part of it. But the focus, the true victories, are those non-scale victories. Getting rid of the medications, being more mobile, doing more things with your kids, doing more things with your partner, getting out for more life experiences, and being healthier and better. And all of those things are so awesome. And that has to be the focus. Trying to determine where you're supposed to be with weight loss is just going to lead to frustration. If you're comparing yourselves to others and said, oh my God, I should be losing that much weight, or they're losing so much quicker, it's just going to lead you down this never-ending sort of battle of beating yourself up over not doing as good as you think you should be doing. You can't just constantly wonder if you're doing everything wrong. It's going to drive you completely crazy. It's going to add stress, anxiety, frustration that are all part of issues that many of us have experienced that led us to emotional and addictive eating. So you can't go there again. You just can't. You have to let your body do its thing. Eat the right foods. Maintain a calorie deficit. Exercise. And you are going to get to your goal. You are going to get so much better. And you know what? If you wanted to get to 120 pounds and you only got to 130, or you wanted to get to 190, but you only got to 210, that is so awesome. You lost a shit ton of weight, and you probably feel better than you've ever felt since who knows how long. Celebrate it. It's great to have aspirational goals, but not meeting aspirational goals is not failure. It's not failure. You have gotten so far, and it's okay not to reach aspirational goals. And you can continue to maintain that weight. You can do some different things to maybe lose some more, but don't obsess over it. Obsess about being healthy and having a good life. Obsess over that. So in my story is I'm moving forward towards success. That's what I'm focusing on. I'll reach out when I struggle. I ask for help from people all the time, try to get their insight, and it's very cathartic for me just to share on forums and help other people through things, so I share a lot. And I learn through that process. And I'm going to celebrate other people's success, genuinely celebrate it. No matter if it's quote unquote better than my success, or not as good as my success, and good is relative, right? I mean, I shouldn't even use that word. Everyone's success is different, and good is very subjective. Every ounce of progress, whether that's inches lost, medications dropped, pounds lost, activity gained, all of those things should be celebrated. Your journey is most definitely different than mine, but there may be some similarities. If there are, and you need to forgive yourself, do it. Let go of that stuff. Let go of those bad experiences and move forward. That's what I'm doing. I want you to help me do that. I'm going to help you do that. Because there's going to be ups and downs for all of us. And that's okay. It's okay. We'll learn from those things, and we'll move on from there, back towards our goals. So I forgive myself, and if this rings true for you, forgive yourself. If you don't think you can forgive yourself, maybe consider counseling. Find a therapist, work through those issues. If you're pre-surgery, try to get this done before you have surgery. If you're post-surgery, get started now. Or just talk if you've got someone to talk to. Talk through it. Talk to me. Send me a message. And find me on forums. I'm on Reddit as Bad to Rad. I'm on in different bariatric forums or Facebook groups. I'm on AmericanBariatrics.org forum. Reach out here on YouTube, leave a comment on Instagram, wherever, and I'll respond. And finally, if my experience doesn't match up to yours, that's cool. But I'd ask you to spend some time to evaluate your story. Look at your story and, what are the things that you're still hanging on to that probably aren't helping with your success now? Evaluate those, and if you need to forgive yourself, forgive yourself. If it's not really a matter of forgiveness, but just letting go of those things, let them go. So next time, and I mean it the next time, next video, we'll be talking about calories, nutrition, and a lot of the heartache that unnecessary heartache that people go through when trying to deal with this on their weight loss journey. And we're going to talk about what the research says and how we might set ourselves up for the best success. All right? And until then, take care.